God bless you. I salute you on this beautiful Friday morning, and some follow-up thoughts on what's been going on, obviously in the news with the Donald Trump, Elon Musk beef. I did a very good video dissecting basically two sides of the coin, where I think this is headed, and then revealed the real truth about this is all leading the herd into really a new party, a new uniparty, which will be an AI, artificial intelligence demigod, created by the super oligarchical elites. This is why I believe Elon Musk has called for a new party. And also his statements, honestly, are so damaging beyond repair. I don't know how you could ever repair what Elon Musk said. I mean, I want you to think not only was it a national security risk, and it is a national security risk, as I argued yesterday, an absolute event that our intelligence agencies need to take a very close look at. But Elon Musk blatantly accused Donald Trump of being a child trafficker. And in addition to that, called for his active impeachment, otherwise known as a coup d'etat here in the United States. So those two things alone have broken trust from a lot of Americans and really has ruptured and fractured, I think, the MAGA movement to a certain degree. But I'm going to explain why they did that, because they've done that for a very specific reason. Please like and share. They've done that because, of course, they're setting you up for the next phase of events, what we're going to talk about today, which I've been completely on point, by the way, completely on point. In fact, the last couple days prior to all this craziness and all these shenanigans, as I sit down here, I've been warning you that there's a massive Donald Trump military parade taking place in the United States on June 14th. And I told you, much like in Hunger Games format, that was by design to psychologically program Americans and the American people for what is to come next. What is to come next? Well, war. What can we expect in the future? And let's talk about Donald Trump's reaction. His reaction earlier today was actually peculiar, in my opinion, because typically the alpha dog, Trump, I love him, but he's a loudmouth, right? He's a braggadocious guy. He's the golden toilets dude. He never holds or bites his tongue. So it's very interesting that he has basically his closest ally, somebody he paraded on the world stage, left and right, has him living at the White House almost like it's his wife. And they're in a love affair relationship over the last, 100 and so many days post the election. And to put him on a pedestal. And keep in mind, Donald Trump has been putting Elon Musk on a pedestal for the longest time now, singing his praises, selling his cars, doing full-blown Tesla commercials on Pennsylvania Avenue, for crying out loud. So the departure of Musk with these grave national security accusations, not to mention the call for an impeachment, which could arguably be a coup, not to mention he also threatened, please like and share this, to remove his Dragon rocket program, which is like the only one that supposedly, allegedly can traverse from here to the International Space Station and back and take our astronauts or whatever. Well, I mean, again, these are rogue, crazy threats being made by a civilian. I don't care if you're a billionaire or not. I mean, Donald Trump has the authority to confiscate Elon Musk's assets at this point. He has the authority to invoke the War Production Act during a time of war, confiscate all of Tesla and SpaceX assets. He has the authority through the National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, to label Elon an enemy combatant, if not the T word, which I can't say to make it PC. He could have Elon Musk deported. He could have him arrested. The list goes on and on. He could actually do far worse. So, the initial gut instinct reaction, as I talked about yesterday, is this is theater. They're building up the seminal moment, the seminal event into the golden age hysteria in the military industrial complex Hunger Games parade that we have June 14th, leading us into the new system, the AI system, the blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, reset, etc. But I have to admit, this makes Donald Trump look weak, in my opinion, and really, really bad. And I'm going to give you an example of this because I always like to bounce things off my father, because my father, Papa John, we all know and love him, many of you. And, my dad's a good judge of character, and he's not following the media like I am. He's not on X or Twitter or whatever. And so when I was talking to him yesterday, I'm like, Dad, did you hear the news? Like, let me read to you like what Musk just said about Trump. And he's like, wow, like I can't believe that. Like, and his first reaction was, that doesn't look good for Trump. And so I really believe it's a stain, because when you parade someone around Pennsylvania Avenue like they're God, when you sell their Teslas like a stinking commercial, when you praise this guy and have him parading around and standing around the Resolute desk in the White House, to then only have that figure make an absolute mockery, threaten you, libel you, and actually cause, I would argue, a national security event, there's no going back. You might be a loose cannon. People make mistakes, and we're in the internet age. People will argue that Elon's autistic, etc. But to me, there's no going back. It's just like when you're in a relationship. If you say things that are too harsh, even if you don't mean them, if you're aggressive enough, there's certain things you can't take back. So I think Trump's initial reaction is to be poised, and I think it makes him look weak, honestly, very early on. But I know Trump well enough that, he'll keep his friends close and his enemies closer. So I actually think at some point in the future, Donald Trump will get his revenge one way or another, systematically by cutting contracts, removing funds, access, DOD access, whatever it may be. Because Elon Musk even went to say yesterday that Donald Trump only has 3.5 years left, but he has 40. So I want you to think about the egomania of Elon Musk, the supposed richest man in the world, thinks he can waltz in unelected to the Resolute desk and the White House, make a mockery of the United States of America and the President of the United States, accuse him of absolute libelous claims, prove himself as a scumbag, because those are very scumbaggish things to say. You're not going to get away with that, is what I'm saying. So, this whole idea that there's Trump team and Elon Musk team, and are you on the Musk team or the Trump team, I think is besides the point. It is a giant crap stain on America's record. It looks terrible. Optically, it looks terrible, and I actually think it makes Donald Trump look incredibly weak. I mean, he could have been fierce. For example, like I said, he could invoke the War Production Act, immediately confiscate Elon Musk's assets and all of his companies. Elon Musk's just a little chicken crap civilian. Trump is in charge, dude, along with the people that sit above him, as we talk about on this channel. So, something just doesn't feel right, and it feels off. And I believe why we got this drama in very much a reality television, popperish way, kind of Shakespearean entertainment, romanticized Netflix episode TV series shenanigans, like The Housewives of Washington, D.C., starring prima donna Elon, autist Musk, and Donald Trump, the golden hair, twirling presidential powerhouse. I think the reason why we've gotten that is for the reasons I've already discussed and warned the American people for a very long time. The truth is, I actually think America has already been taken over in a coup. That's my opinion. I believe that the tech oligarch elites have already taken control. They control all of our current new standing armies. This includes all the drones in our skies. They control the military. Elon Musk has now confiscated, I want you to think about this, all of the data of Americans, and he's given it to his friends like Peter Thiel and the rest of them, which they funded Vance, and that's who Elon Musk was calling for Donald Trump to be replaced with yesterday. So Elon Musk now possesses, social security numbers, your bank account, your sexual proclivities, probably your house surveillance, what else? Phone numbers, tax records, any communique with any government organizations. I want you to think about this for a minute. Elon Musk, whose egomaniacal, Brutus-like rage has grown so far out of proportions into a megalomania that he actually believes that he's bigger than the President of the United States and bigger than Donald John Trump. If that's not a national security event, then I don't know what is. So I actually agree with, Steve Bannon on some of his commentary as well, which I've criticized Musk for years. I mean, he's on the government teat. Like, he gets all of his money from the government contracts. In addition to that, he's a dirty CCCP commie lover. I mean, I don't do any business with the communist Chinese, but freaking Elon Musk laps up Xi Jinping like he's his best friend or something. That's a communist, tyrannical, non-free speech, non-free country, highly tracked, highly surveilled police state. And Elon Musk just sacks up over there and loves that place. So to me, it just exposes the absolute cronyism and the racketeering at the highest law of the land, and the evident truth that this is very much almost like a Caesar-esque moment. This is like Brutus luring in Donald Trump to take him out. And so the tech elites really do believe now that they have circumvented, overthrown the modern political system to such a degree. They've acquired so much wealth, so much power. They own and control all the data points, all the AI. And they probably even ran a simulation on this. There's even a possibility that they figured out through divide and conquer strategy, and they just ran an artificial intelligence algorithm around it, that if they staged Elon Musk making these comments, it actually benefited their long-term goals. Like, they're that nerdy. Like, these dudes literally sit in a basement and watch Star Trek, for crying out loud. They're nerds. So you basically have super dorks in charge of the United States of America, people like Mark Zuckerberg and others, the nerdiest, dorkiest people on planet Earth, that are, in his case, Mark Zuckerberg obeys the government, which I'm not saying, trust your government, but he covered up all of the Epstein materials. He covered up and censored the Joe Biden and his son's involvement with dirty dealings in Ukraine. He covered up the laptop, and he actually went on camera and said later on that, he basically covered up all that truthful information. So, I'm not saying he's better, like Elon Musk's more free, and he's, provided more of a free platform, and some of those things are really positive. But we're really in a state of a national emergency in America where not only does the rest of the world look at us as fools, but I really do think you've harmed and broken the trust of Americans, and you've intentionally, and here's what I'm getting at, fractured the MAGA movement. And this is the real truth to be told, and it's why you're going to share this video, because the real goal of Musk and the people he represents, keep in mind, Elon Musk represents Palantir. He is the PayPal mafia. Him and Peter Thiel are best friends. All of them come from the same source. All of them are in bed together. They're the ones that represent Vance's interests, funded Vance, and even funded Trump. But in the case of Vance, really funded Vance as a puppet, quite frankly, and as Donald Trump's replacement, where I don't know if just Elon Musk just couldn't bite his tongue any longer, or his emotional drama queen teenage rage angst just came out, or maybe it was a screw popped in his autistic dorky brain or something, but completely lashed out at arguably the most powerful man in the world. So, Trump's initial response being poised I think is fine, saying he has no interest in taking a phone call. By the way, he did announce he'll be selling his Tesla. So that should be really great for Tesla stockholders. Remember how I told you to short Tesla stock? But it's leading up to a much, much bigger thing. So where is it going? It's going exactly into what I believe is going to be a monumental occult event, and this divide and conquer distraction campaign that they're currently running is leading us in to the June 14th military parade, right? Leading us into the golden age reset, leading us into the AI takeover, and what really Musk wants, and these people really want, in my view. And this is what I said yesterday, which I think, people just parroted what I said, because I've honestly said this for so long, and I've said it first, is that I believe Musk and the rest of the techno glitterati, so to speak, don't believe that a human being should be president any longer. I really think that they believe that AI should replace government. And I really believe that they think that it would be much better off having some kind of artificial intelligence god govern, surrounded by some kind of board of directors. And I think it's why Elon Musk has always been dark MAGA. Notice his dark cloak, right? The darkness of his hat. I mean, even the way things he says sometimes sound bizarre. He's like, hey, Elon, how you doing? He's like, dark MAGA, right? I mean, he plays video games set in hell. His favorite video game's Diablo. It's a game where you're in hell. So you're literally fighting demons in hell. He's always wearing all black. I mean, it kind of reminds me of that tragic event. I won't go into it, but remember the guys that wore the coats and went in that tragic event at a school? It's almost like that. He might be a billionaire, but there's something wrong with the guy. And I think he exposed himself yesterday. I think the big takeaway, and I think all of the board of directors across his companies have to really seriously be considering firing him and replacing him by force at this point. And I really do think Donald Trump probably should confiscate some of his assets, because it is a national security event, especially when he is subsidized by the government. See, many of you out there are private citizens. You don't get any money from the government, so you're not representing governmental contracts or interests. Elon Musk works for the government. So for him to threaten withholding government property gives Donald Trump every right to go after him in a very, very material way. So, very dangerous for the country. And where this is leading, of course, is the psychological programming for the reset that they've always devised. And what is that? Well, they're trashing the US dollar. They'll keep blowing up the debt. They'll probably come to a partial agreement on some cost cutting of the BBB bill. But it's only going to lead us into more hyperinflation, into the blockchain crypto age, into the AI robotic absorption, into the new system, universal basic income, which they already pre-planned, and basically the reconfiguring of all of the world resources and assets, which is why they did the lockdowns in 2020. It was about basically control and power and figuring out ways to move the sheep and the populations exactly where they wanted them before taking them to the next series of events. Again, all of these tech nerds are running very vast algorithms and simulations in predictive nature that tell them what to do, like a master chess player. Just like I gave you the example, it might even just be a ruse that they're fake fighting. Now, with all that being said, I do expect Donald Trump and Elon Musk to be standing together, actually, at the military parade. And I think Trump will feign appearances as if they've worked things out. I actually think he will do that at some point. He'll bring them together again. But it's kind of like bringing your ex-wife back, or the gal that cheated on you, who you can never trust again. So you only bring her close right before you pull out the sickle. You understand? So that's actually what I think Donald Trump's going to do. He'll absorb more of the dork's power, right? And he'll bring them into the golden age and the up-only system and the up-only markets. But Trump, just know, he's got a sickle there and a crazy eye. And I'm using that as a metaphor. But that's actually what I think Donald Trump will do, because one thing about Donald Trump is he doesn't forget who his enemies are. And he's shown temporary mercy and restraint, which could be argued as somewhat of a power move. But it really only makes Trump look weak, because he's put Musk on such a crazy pedestal where you have to ask Trump, and think about this looking at Trump, like, is your judge of character just terrible? Like, do you have no judge of character, or were you just using Elon the whole time? Because, a smart leader knows who the allies are, knows who the enemies are. And Musk proved, unless they're all in on it, unless it's all one big scam, it's all one, comedy hour, they're just, and think about it, if they're doing that, these are the most malevolent, evil, satanic pricks we could ever think of. Like, if it's just a show and a circus, that would mean both of them are like incredibly evil, which, I'll let you decide for yourself what you think. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, I think we're doing this. We need to pray for America. I think we should pray for our president, even pray for Elon Musk. One thing Musk could do to redeem himself is apologize, actually. So, but even with that, sickle comes out. Like, again, once she cheated, it's over. Even if you guys kind of try to make up, it's sitting in the back of your mind with a sickle, right? So there's no going back, right? So Elon Musk could drop as low on his knees to start begging, right? Like a little cry-baby loser. So we might get that, maybe some massive apologies, maybe some tear jerking. Maybe like, I don't know, just like he'll blame something. Maybe he was on too much ketamine or something that day, or I don't know, his dog ate his homework. But at the end of it all, there's been a fissure. There's brokenness that's never coming back. So it's done tremendous damage to the country. And I believe the MAGA movement. And the reason why is because so many Americans have put all their faith and trust in those two dudes. I mean, Vance is like, people don't even like think of him as the VP. They think of Elon Musk as the VP. So to break that trust in a reality television, Washington, D.C. housewife comedy hour format breaks the trust of a normal American who wants to see prosperity, stability, steadfast leadership, unity, strength. And these are the things that are so fragile right now that you really can't make a wrong move. America is so broken. I mean, even the theme of Donald Trump's entire campaign is make this crap country great again, because it's dog crap, right? Even the unconscious psychology that things suck, so we have to make it great again, proves the point that we are on thin ice here in the United States. So it should be interesting. I'm very excited, actually, to see what happens on the June 14th military parade, which I already warned you about long in advance. And again, I'm expecting them to even make amends, like Hunger Games. I'm going to expect Trump and Musk cheering on the military-industrial complex, like drones in our sky, fireworks everywhere, tanks in the streets, flybys by our fighter jets, tears streaming down the eyes, Elon Musk and Trump holding hands, French kissing. I mean, I expect all of it. Glamour, glitz, all the celebrities will be there. Kid Rock's gonna be singing. Hulk Hogan's gonna break out the hairy chest, right? So I expect all of that. Fanfare, mayhem, entertainment, ridiculousness. But at the end of it, it only leads one way, and that is we're moving into an AI technocracy. The US dollar has collapsed. Bank runs will hit the United States soon. The US government, through its new crypto policies, which I've predicted accurately over nearly 20 years, are now resetting the system into a new stablecoin one. They are now acquiring Bitcoin to dethrone the dollar and establish it as world reserve. Donald Trump, of course, and his companies have already announced $2 billion worth of new Bitcoin purchases, in addition to their Abu Dhabi partner, who's bought about $2 billion worth of Trump's stablecoin, USD1. All the elites and all of Wall Street are pouring their money in. And so the question is, always follow the money. What are they betting on, and what are they getting ready for? Exactly what I've been telling you for multiple decades. They're getting ready for the digital reset. They're getting ready for real-world asset tokenization. They're getting ready for Bitcoin to trade in the millions per coin. They're getting ready for stable coins, which will be forced based on legislation and policy to buy U.S. Treasury debt and absorb the current $36 trillion, soon to be $40 trillion worth of debt. They will make those holding real assets, because they're buying all of them, richer, and they are going to lead us into the new epoch of civilization. Keep in mind, Elon Musk's big goal is to seed future civilization. His goal is to seed Mars. His goal is to interplanetary design a whole new system for the lifespan of humanity. So I want you to understand Dark MAGA's vision isn't one for the country. It's actually much, much bigger. He's thinking entirely new enterprises. He's thinking an entirely new universe. They think, and this is what they're not telling you, they believe this, and I think Elon Musk absolutely does, believes that the U.S. in its current governmental format is outdated and needs to be updated through a very specific software upgrade, which I'll let you think about because I can't go into all the details there. We know what the software was in 2020, right? But also needs to go through a software upgrade at the governmental level, which is why Doge was grabbing all of that key infrastructure data now that Musk has it all to himself, and he's given it to all of his best friends. I mean, that would be like my dad worked for Palantir and I'm Musk as the face. I would share the information with my father because he's my partner in everything that I've built, right? So Elon Musk is sharing all the information he grabbed, some would argue stole, from Americans, all of your privacy information, all of your key data points, your tax returns, your social security numbers, your phone numbers, your home addresses, probably even knows if you have a mistress. And I'm sure that, they control all your devices in your house, and they're spying on you everywhere too, tracking you on your cell phone everywhere you go, which is anti-constitutional and illegal. But Americans haven't resisted at all. They think it's fine. I told you about that 25 years ago, and everyone said it was a conspiracy, and now they're tracking and tracing all of you, and you were literally locked in your house for periods of time in 2020, couldn't go anywhere. So again, this is the AI technocratic takeover of which these people that don't believe in God are now creating a new AI technological tower of Babel to be worshipped. Their goal is to replace the government. As Elon Musk said specifically yesterday, quote, when he was asked if Donald Trump needed to be impeached and also replaced with J.D. Vance, his exact quote was yes. And he also accused, completely in a libelous, absolutely defaming, defamatory manner, the president of the United States of being a Jeffrey Epstein cohort. So again, Donald Trump ain't stupid. And although they will probably join forces and make love, and they'll make it up to each other, and they'll work it out, and they'll have a good laugh, I want you to understand that the fissure is broken forever. And this is why you should not put your faith in any politician or any man. Your faith should be in Jesus Christ the King. And you need to join other faith first, God first leading individuals like yourself, tuning in and fight back peacefully. You need to organize. You need to create infrastructure. You need to buy real stuff. You need to get ahead. You need to protect you and your own and your family and your friends and your churches, because these people aren't going to do it for you. They're looking out for their own self-interest. And what is that? Musk clearly displayed. He thinks he's God, right? I mean, he thinks he can take Donald Trump down. He's literally calling for a freaking coup. So, I mean, guys, if you think that's good for America, it absolutely is not. So I've got about 30 minutes in. I'd like to hear what you think. Those are some follow-up thoughts. It is June 6, 6/6. That's kind of interesting. And again, I am also expecting, keep your eyes on Trump's military parade. In fact, military parades of its scale, which we have never had in American history, typically precede world wars. We saw this with Imperial Japan before the outbreak of World War II. We saw this in Germany with that guy's name I'm not allowed to mention because of the algorithms, and we live in a free country, so I can't say his name. Before he went to war and started invading Poland and other, European nation states. We saw this with the Ukraine invasion, otherwise known as an annexation. Vladimir Putin held a huge military rally prior to the invasion that I predicted on this channel in Ukraine. We've seen it many times throughout history. So my question is, why such a display? In fact, Donald Trump announced with perfect timing the military parade right after Elon Musk's comments in the evening yesterday, urging Americans to tune in to the greatest national event for all to witness. Here it is. It's 250 years in the making of the U.S. Army Grand Military Parade. There's Donald Trump giving the salute with J.D. Vance, the alleged Trojan horse, which Elon Musk said he wants to replace Donald Trump with him. Again, I'm sorry, man. If I'm Trump, maybe you're poised. Maybe it is a good look to kind of take your time with this. But unless Donald Trump wants to be Caesared, as many people believe, I'm not saying I think that's going to happen, but people have suggested that. I read a Variety article that basically said that earlier today. Then, Donald Trump really needs to be on his defenses because Butler, Pennsylvania may have only been the first attempt. So I don't know about you, but I'm praying for our president. I'm praying for Elon Musk to turn to God too. Again, the best thing he could do is come to Jesus, apologize, tell the American people that he did something wrong, and then, we could forgive him. I think that would be fine, right? We should forgive others as we expected to be forgiven. But as long as he's rolling around with a megalomaniacal, probably drug-fueled, psychotic dork rage, snorting ketamine, and, having multiple girlfriends out of wedlock and 50 kids, of which he houses in a commune like the Mormons used to do out in Texas. This is all true. These are all facts. Then, I don't know. Is this the guy that should be worshiped as the American dream? I certainly don't think so. And I don't trust any of it. The only thing I trust is God. And also, I did want to make our announcement that at about 12 noon today, we will officially record on property number 6 at, serendipitously, Trump Tower, Waikiki. So Trump Tower, Waikiki is our 6th property here as a part of islandproject.com and is closing as an official recordation around noon today. So play the Rocky music if you're one of my beautiful members. I did want to mention too, and I'll probably save it for another video. In fact, I will save it for another video. I love all you guys. Again, let me know what you think. I'm praying for all of you. Do you think it's a good look? Do you think Elon Musk stepped out of bounds? Do you think he could be a national security risk since he called for literally a coup and impeachment of Donald Trump? Do you believe that Donald Trump is the P word? Because Elon Musk accused Donald Trump of being an Epstein trafficker. I'm sorry, dude. That is very damaging, libelous, defamatory accusation. So unless Elon Musk is going to expose with the information he's gathered, then where we go from here is not going to be good. But lots of hyperinflation, up only guaranteed, dollars dead, Wall Street hates you, and real assets are going to keep going up in price, and my crypto predictions will continue to be fulfilled and revealed, just like they have been, right? I told you Bitcoin would be trading above 100K when it was trading under 1,000. It's trading at 105,000 a day. I told you we would build the #1 real estate portfolio in the world, and we are closing on our property number 6 with no bank debt today. So judge a man by his actions, not just his words, and join us. Join good Christians that love you, that are doing big things, are protecting you, making you money, And I'm very excited because 2025 is going to be lights out. It's going to be huge. This is the year, of course, we position for our big token launch. And all of my member investors are really going to benefit in a huge way from all the hard work that we've put in, all the blood, sweat, and tears, because it's not like what's happening now is some kind of surprise. Like, it's actually what we predicted. Expect collapse, expect fissures, expect disappointment among your political leadership. That's why they're there, to disappoint you. I mean, so put your faith in God, everybody. Jesus Christ is King. Thanks for sharing, and I'll put this out on Twitter, of course. Make sure to follow me at AMTV Media on Facebook and also Rumble, and I hope you have a beautiful Friday. I'll probably do a follow-up video later. And if you have any questions about our recent property acquisition, call my dad at 808-442-2934, or text him, and or fill out an app at islandproject.com for your first 150 units or more. God bless.